This podcast has been brought to you by Snug Dubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Rachel Burridge.
And the handsome and delightful Simon Burridge, which is me. Mate, say mind coach or whatever it is you want to say.
Haydn Griffiths, mindset coach.
Take 12.
I'm liking the purple.
He looks nice in purple, isn't it? Purple and blue.
I'm a colourful man.
I feel
How you doing, mate?
Doing good, thank you.
Let's start on the sign. You know all about the sign,
I
don't
do,
you?
yes.
Go on then. How long?
Looking forward to it.
How long?
5 minutes.
5 minutes from now?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes from now. Right, don't take any notes of that clock, but it'll be when I do it. Okay. So, good to see you, mate.
Thank you.
God, I'm talking Australian already. I think I am anyway.
When in Rome.
Yes. So, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Oh, okay. My name is Haydn Griffiths. I'm a mindset and performance coach. Been practicing professionally for 4 years. I work with young entrepreneurs and business owners. When I say young, I'm talking up to 50 years old, typically, 25 to 50.
No, you're nearly out of it.
Yeah, and to what that is coaching is holding someone. Sorry, he's just adjusting my microphone. He's got his hands right in front of my face. They smell a little.
What, the microphones or my hands?
Yeah, hands. Kidding.
No, mate, I've heard worse. You're fine.
Coaching is discovering and holding people accountable to their dreams and their goals, supporting them, encouraging them, inspiring them. Mindset is dealing with that little internal voice, the one that says who you are, what you can and can't do, what's possible, what's not, that's chattering away all day, analysing everything that's going on.
I hate that.
Yeah, man, I used to as well. It was my worst enemy. And performance is the specific actions you're taking, what you're saying, what you're doing that's causing all your results. So I work with people they gain a deep awareness of who they are. They get to master themselves and master their life. Oh, yes. That was so
That's not far off, is it?
That is really difficult.
Oh, mate, I think that was even quicker than I thought. And it broke. It's in pieces.
Oh, well. I think that's a bit too quick, actually. That's an early one, isn't it? That is an early one.
3 minutes.
It didn't last 5 minutes.
The spidey senses were tingling.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, that's brilliant. So 4 years you've been doing it. So what led you to this path?
Oh, mate.
No, I know.
Well, I think the one of the most memorable moments is I was having a shower, 16 years old. And at that point in my life, I thought I was going to die or end up in jail. That was the future I had. And my mindset at that time...
Can I ask, why did you think you was going to die as such?
Yeah,
I was, trouble.
I started injecting drugs at 14 and drinking at 13 and hanging out with, criminals. And so I saw the future of the criminals. And some of them did die and end up in jail. So
And this was over in Australia?
This is in Australia, yeah. And so I'm standing in the shower, contemplating my life, as we do. And my stepmother walks in, who I called my mother. She raised me from nearly birth. And she had this DVD case and she's crying, tears coming down her cheeks. And she sat down on the bathtub. And I'm thinking, what are you doing in here? Like, get out of here.
You can swear.
I can swear. I thought,
You're Australian. Of course you're going to swear.
I'm going to drop the C word.
Fair dinkum.
Just to prove my Australianness. And so she's bawling her eyes out and she says, I don't know why you do this to yourself. You've always been a good boy. And that hit, that like, whoa, what if I am a good boy? What if I'm not this worthless piece of shit that I think I am? What if I have a future? What if these teachers who've told me I could be something were right and who I've told myself I am is wrong? And if I do die or end up in jail, then I've not only have I wasted my life, but I've let everyone down and I've wasted this potential. And that little shift in mindset was enough for me to stop hanging out with those friends, stop injecting drugs. I kept drinking. Drinking's been the bane of my life.
And you were 16?
16.
So you did 2 years of drugs?
Yeah, heavy drug
But
use.
that mindset for a 16-year-old, I mean,
Was
I
messed
know
up.
when I was 16, I wouldn't have even thought of, I wouldn't have considered being like that, thinking to myself, I've got to change. You just sort of, at 16, that doesn't even contemplate in my mind. I was just young and...
Right, this is a podcast. Talk down the fucking mics. All of you.
Okay.
Getting on my tits.
Yeah, sorry. Rookie error.
And she should know. It's like a 7th, 8th bloody one. She's getting on my nerves.
Got it.
Sorry.
I can't...
Sorry.
My eye movements clearly aren't telling you. Look down the mic. I had to just come out and say it. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry.
He's swearing. I'm swearing. Go on, carry on. Yeah, so mindset. I'm proud of the mindset he had at 16 I'm looking away from the mic. I'm proud of the mindset he had at 16 to actually think that...
Positively, almost.
Maturely.
Yeah.
Maturely.
Sure. I don't think I was conscious of it, that I was creating it. It happened as a response to my mother's stand or
So I suppose
persistence.
that stood in, stuck in your head as such, and sort of you just go back to that image and just think, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
kept thinking, what if I am a good boy? Yeah, what?
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of it. But it took another, so that was 16, and I didn't become a coach until around 30. I didn't even know coaching existed until the year I became a coach.
Right.
Yeah, like I was, from 28, I was climbing trees. I was an arborist, chainsaw and ropes. That was a fantastic, dangerous, exciting job, well paid.
Did you say up until 28?
Yeah, and then I thought, I don't want to use my body anymore. I want to use my brain. But I didn't have a degree, didn't go to university. I barely went to school. I was too busy getting high. So I felt I was a bit lost for a couple of years, what is wrong with me? What am I going to do with my life? I got a wife. We want to have kids. How am I going to make this all work? I know I'm intelligent. I know the potential's there, but where can I utilize it?
Can we go back a little bit to before you were 14? So can I ask what happened with your mum? Your real mum?
She died not long after I was born. So I was in the womb, and they found a spot on her back, and it was a malignant melanoma. And so they induced my birth and got her straight into treatment, but it was too late. Yeah, killed her. Left my dad with 2 boys under 3 and a mortgage. Yeah,
Right.
that was tough.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
God.
So with having 2 boys under 3 and a mortgage, trying to bring you up, you were able to just do your own thing, and that's how you got into it?
No, when he remarried, he met Wendy, thank God. He met Wendy, and she just day one stepped in and said, "Yep, these are my sons." That was it, and raised me as if I was her own. So I knew no different. When I was 9 years old, I decided she'd never be my mother, and so I started,
Rebelling.
Yeah. You'll never be my mother. You're not my real mum.
Right.
Yeah.
Based
But
on
I
something
think-
silly that she told you off about, I imagine.
Well, my grandpa told me off. So you should respect your mother. You have no idea how much work she does for you. And I was like, F you.
And then, you're not my mum. You're not my mother. Yes, I am.
Sorry, as an EastEnders line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
wow.
Okay.
I think when I was, this is so silly, but when I was about 4 years old, I decided I'm not worthy of my family's love. And then at 4 or 5 years old, my dad said, I'm the reason my mother died. And that just crushed me.
Oh my God, that is so much pressure to put on such a
man.
little shoulders.
And so I really believed it. And I thought,
and then you're
kill
going
my mother,
you're going to
worthless,
take
I
that
don't
with
belong
you. And
here.
God.
far out. So it led to trying to fit in, find a place of belonging. And I remember I walked into the schoolroom at 13 and I didn't know anyone. It was in high school. I was like, oh my God, who am I going to sit with?
Yeah.
You've got nerds, girls, naughty boys, none of my friends. And the naughty boys at the back said, hey, Haydn, come sit with us. And I thought at that moment, fuck it.
Let's
Let's
go
see what
for it.
happens. And I just became reckless.
Oh my
I would do anything. So my friend Aaron said,
Because they're giving you attention for doing it.
Yeah, this is how I can belong. You know, I don't belong at home. Like, I ruined my family. I killed my mother. So I'll try and fit in somewhere else, and I'll do whatever it takes. Now, being someone who's worthless or really believes that, it just did heavy.
Yeah.
See, that's the mindset. That's the key mindset.
Yeah.
I killed my mother.
I know.
Yeah.
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 You didn't kill your mother.
Don't
No, I
start
didn't.
using his words against him. You
You didn't kill your mother, Haydn. Right?
Yeah, I know I didn't. I know now.
So, did you ever sort of talk to your dad about this and sort of go over old ground and just?
Yeah, I did. Actually, this year we really had a
wow.
good chat. But I didn't tell anyone until I was 24. I think I held it in for 20 years.
Wow.
And then my girlfriend at the time, Hannah, gorgeous woman.
Got any pictures?
Stop.
We could Google her. We could Facebook her.
We'll have a look at her.
She's a beauty.
Hi, Hannah, if you're listening.
Hey, Hannah, still love you. You're great.
Are you still in touch with Hannah?
Nah,
Oh,
don't be
okay.
silly. Anyway, she asked because I was a mess. I was drinking and partying and angry and typical young messed up man. And she asked, like, what is going on? Like, why isn't our relationship working? And I don't know exactly what she said, but I was on my bed and I curled up in a ball and just started crying. All this snot coming out my nose. I was like, when my dad, said, Mum, the reason my mother died. That was the first time I let it out. And that was a big release. But then I spoke to Dad last year. This is how good my dad is, right? I worshipped him. I told my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, I really have a hard time sharing what's happened to me with you. I don't want anyone to think negatively of you. And Dad goes, mate, you do what you got to do. I've seen what you've done with your brother and the difference you've made for him, my brother Adam, and how his life's changed. You do what you got to do. You say what you got to say. Don't worry about me. You're making a difference.
Bless him.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk in depth, or not in depth, can you talk about what you did for your brother? Will he mind?
No, he won't mind. I coached him.
Right, okay.
For years. This is pre-coaching. I used to tell my brother, mate, stop thinking about the negative all the time. Any situation, he goes straight to negative. To the point that I was talking about Abraham Lincoln and how he freed the slaves. What a great thing this is. And my brother goes, yeah, but the North were doing it because the slavery in the South was ruining their economy. And I'm like, how? We're talking about freeing the slaves and you make it negative. Like, so that was my brother. He was just doom and gloom.
Now, was your brother a good boy?
My brother?
Yeah,
he was a good boy, yeah.
He was a good boy.
Yeah, very good.
Right, so
Straight A student.
So
Yeah.
he's a couple of years older than you.
1 year.
1 year old.
Yeah, 1 year. He's like my twin. But
So again, that couldn't have helped, having this sort of almost role model to look up to, and he was an A-star student, and he was
nah,
good at
I didn't give a shit
everything,
about that.
Oh, you didn't
Oh,
care?
right, you didn't care.
So you wasn't
I
looking
thought
at
he was a bit of a pussy.
So you wasn't looking up at him. You wasn't looking up going, look how well he's doing.
I loved him, don't get me wrong, but I didn't worship him like I worship my dad. It was a brotherly equal love, because we were so close. It wasn't like I looked up to him. We were eye to eye. When we fought, it was a fair match.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And was it, no, and this is going to sound strange, was it nice to have that same shared experience with him, the loss of your mum, that you can actually relate to him and say,
Yeah.
we've both been through this, we can both deal with this together, that sort of thing.
We interpreted it different ways. That was
Right.
So he did some training as well, and he saw that when he was about 3, and we were at my mum's funeral, and it's amazing that we can remember this far back. Yeah, he was 3 years old. He's at mum's funeral, and he walked up to Dad and he said, "Hey, Dad, where's mum?" And Dad goes, "She's in the ground, mate." And he's like, "Well, that ain't right." So I'll go ask someone else. And he went and asked this lady, and he goes, "Excuse me, where's my mum?" And she goes, "She's in heaven, mate." And my brother goes, "Well, I trust both these people. They're both
and
adults.
They're telling me different
this doesn't make
things
sense." So he thought, I got to figure this out. If I don't figure this out, who's going to love me?
Oh.
So who he became in that moment was he needed to have everything in life figured out,
Right.
or he wouldn't take action. He would put things off and put things off. Whereas I became almost distant from the family. So I became, well, if I don't fit in here, I've got to find somewhere to fit in. So we interpreted it in a different way and became different people. Yeah, from that.
Amazing, isn't it?
Do you still speak to him now and still in contact with him a lot?
Like every week.
It's
I
great
still
that
coach him.
It's great that you found the core of what the problem was.
Yeah, it's in there. We've all got it going
It's
on.
just finding it.
Yeah, just got to find it.
Needle in a haystack.
And that's the thing with so many people today. They are almost in denial, aren't they, of all these problems they have. They don't actually sit down and say, let's address the issue then.
Oh, it's very
Everyone
uncomfortable.
just pushes it away.
Yeah,
and
they do.
Oh my, sorry.
Well, some people don't end up with such a horrible mindset, and some people end up with a mindset that really works in our society, like is very effective. Most of us though don't. There's things that are lingering in the background that are holding us back. We're unaware that they're there. Yeah, but when you find them, you can remove them. Now, I used to think I killed my mum. Like I really believed that, whereas now I know I didn't. Now I know I'm lucky enough I had two mums. I had a mum that gave birth to me and a mum that raised me. And that shift in mindset is going from blame to gratitude. And it's a very different experience that comes with it. Yeah.
Wow. So would you say that everyone could go through mind coaching?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't want to put that on everyone. I mean, everyone could. Not everyone needs to. Not everyone will. Everyone could. I would love to see it if kids were educated. If we get in early and teach them the basics, we can eliminate so much that is going to happen through their life.
Even with what's going on at home and stuff like that. I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Do you do children?
Yeah, I do work with kids. Yeah. They're actually easier to coach than adults. You've got less junk.
We should give him Ted and deal with him. Oh.
Yeah, I've dealt teenagers with anxiety. One conversation, gone.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much less going on for them that it's usually one or two things and then that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas when the older we get, the more junk we accumulate.
Absolutely.
Then the more attached to our own identity and beliefs we become.
I mean, our daughter, she stresses over so many tiny little things. And I do have to say to her, don't worry, in 5 years, 10 years, these little things aren't going to matter.
Yeah.
And she sort of sits there and goes, oh, okay then, yeah, I sort of see where you're coming from. I say to her, look, I promise you, they're so insignificant that you won't even remember them. So don't put all your worry and all your stress and anger into this issue when it won't mean anything.
Which easier said than done when you're that age.
Oh, absolutely. You think the world is ending.
The school is their world.
Yeah.
Them having a row with a friend at school is the worst
Oh my
thing.
God.
Well, I broke up with my girlfriend at 16 and that was it. That was done with love at 16. No more women, no more trusting women. That hurt so much. Yeah, she loved someone else. Crushed me.
Gets you right.
Crushed me. Yeah. Oof. Got in the way of my marriage until I saw that one.
Wow.
Yeah, as soon as I decided when I was 16 I would never love again.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my wife and I was like, oh my God, like you're beautiful. How did I not see that before?
Oh.
Yeah, it was instant.
It's like almost like a barrier that you put up that you can't,
protect
or a
myself.
wall. Yeah, a wall that you can't go through until you've had that own conversation with yourself to say, knock that wall down almost.
Yeah.
I could do
Very
this.
good. Be a coach.
So let's have a Hayden work on you for a bit.
Shut up. No. No.
Is there anything you want to
I'm
chat
going.
about? Anything you want to chat about?
I need a couch. I feel I need a couch to lay down.
I'm not a therapist.
He just gives me a phone. That's all he does. Once a month, on every Monday, phones me.
I don't want to see you cry, mate.
Every Monday, I'm in a good mood. Ring him up. Then I realise how fucked up I am.
Don't say that.
I'm joking.
I'd agree.
No, I'm joking.
It hurts to see ourselves clearly sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm still, what are we on? Like week 5 together? That sounds like
Something like that.
You're
yeah,
dating.
soon.
that we're dating.
Yeah, he keeps saying yes, so it's similar.
And I love it, Aidan.
Oh,
I do.
thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
It has made a difference. And like yesterday, I had a bump in the road, didn't I? I was a bit more positive the week before, wasn't I? But yesterday, for some reason, felt worthless. I wasn't happy in my marriage. Maybe I shouldn't mention this. No, I'm joking. But yeah, yesterday I had a bit of a collapse in confidence, maybe, something like that, I would say. But he helps me have perspective.
What did you see?
What do you mean? What did I say?
What did you come away with from the conversation?
That most of
Are you going to cry?
no.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to note down the time that Simon starts crying.
I cry nearly all the time. But what did I say? I saw that when I was saying I was getting feedback from others, it's actually feedback from myself.
Oh, life's a mirror. Beautiful. Can you open that up a little bit more? Explain
on
that a
a
little
podcast?
bit more?
Nah, not on a podcast.
Oh, you don't like it when it's the other way round, do you?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can open it up a bit more on
You
here.
can go on. Give it a go. Just give it a go.
Go fuck
Come on.
Right, I can't make next Monday.
It's Christmas anyway.
He's sitting by the phone waiting for you to call.
Where's
like,
Haydn?
he hasn't called me today.
It's because of the conversation last week, isn't it?
He doesn't like me anymore.
All right, let's skip me now. Anyway,
Oh,
I
you
do highly recommend people contacting you. I really do, because I didn't think I needed it until I spoke to you. Well, maybe I did think I needed it. I've had counselling in the past. I've been
It's not
counselled.
counselling,
I know,
yeah.
but I've been counselled in the past.
Yeah.
It's better than that.
Yeah.
If I'm honest,
we go for the jugular.
it's better than
Don't
that.
muck
It's better
around.
than counselling. It is better than counselling.
I find counselling just sort of sits you down and doesn't deal with the problem as such. I think it's more of a tell me your problems, and then it's sort of like, okay, go and work on them. It doesn't really. It's more of a okay. This is the problem, and not how to fix it or how to think in the right way to fix it. Almost,
Look,
I
okay.
think.
I'm not saying counselling is bad at all.
No.
And counselling, once again, shouldn't be giving you advice. And Haydn doesn't actually give you advice, do you? You just make us
Really?
think about things in a different way.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Change our perspective on why we think that way, which is similar to what counselling is. Yeah, it's
Yeah. I think as a coach, we come from responsibility. We're fully responsible for everything in our life, even the stuff that we don't like and that isn't working. And we hold you accountable to that. I'm not here to dance around your feelings, like
exactly.
Yeah.
you're going to own your shit.
Yeah.
And that's where you're
That's
going to
it.
have the breakthrough. No more excuses, no more blame, no more complaining. What are you doing? Who are you being? What are you thinking that's causing everything?
And you do deal with the past. There's one thing you dealt with me. I don't need to go into any detail, but you make a lot of the things, the way we think in life is based on what happened as a child.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you've just said. And
So
counselling.
is that sort of the main cause of it? Do you say, like, in most of the opportunity, or most of the people that you see is drawn back down to
It's the
childhood?
programming, isn't it? It's the programming of us.
Yeah.
And what you see, what you see as a kid is what you're programmed. When you're born and your parents say there's a God, you go, okay, I trust you completely. There's a God. There's a God. No matter what religion, I'm not being, knocking any religion, but if you're born and you're told there's a God by the person you trust and love the most, sorry, I'm cleaning my glass at the same time, then you'll believe it. And it's the same with everything. It's not just that. Anything you experience as a kid, that's locked in until you dislodge it.
Yep.
And what I was doing without even realising, when stuff was affecting me, and I can't even remember what it was now. That's how insignificant it is now, thanks to you. You made me look, you asked me, how am I seeing that past? Am I seeing that past through the eyes of the kid, or am I standing at the room watching that kid, observing what's going on? And all the time I was in the eyes. I was back.
Yeah,
I
people
was
do that a
back
lot.
in the eyes of the kid.
Yeah.
I was the kid sitting there, struggling to read in the classroom.
So that makes you now, as an adult, anxious and
No,
afraid or such?
I don't know. You've really thrown a curveball there, Rach.
Sorry.
Doing good, mate.
Thanks,
Okay,
mate.
Yeah, you're doing good.
So I was struggling to read as a kid, and I was still that kid. When I think of it, I'm still that kid in the classroom looking around, and there's all my mates, and I'm making jokes to try and get over the fact that every time I read a line, I will go to read the next line and read the same line again. I could read every word in the book, but I couldn't see every word in the book. That makes sense, and that's a part of dyslexia. I've never had those coloured glasses or anything, but it was, like I say, it wasn't invented then. Like I say, I could read every word, but I couldn't see every word. It's just too much. Black and white was just too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you see my Excel sheets, they're like gay pride, honestly.
Oh, nice.
They are colourful and everything.
Excellent.
Because that's the only way I can see stuff, if it's proper standing out for me. Anyway, so that's basically what it is. And he made me come out of that kid, stand in a room, watch that kid do that, and then address that kid. Tell him what he needs. Tell that kid what he needs to get over the fact that, you know, he's still using that memory in his life.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll expand on that too.
Thank you, because I tried my best. And then she phoned me that question. I can't even remember what the question was.
So the kid, Simon, when he was a kid, had this experience. It was an emotional one. Our memories are always emotional. That's why our brain goes, I need to remember this. And then what he created in that moment was a view of himself. I can't read. I need to be funny. And so whenever in his adult life anything reminds him of that situation where he created that identity, he'll respond by being that kid again. And that's the programming he created to deal with life, to survive life.
It's like a lock, isn't it? He's locked it in, and then, sorry, we're really analysing you, aren't we?
No, I ain't bothered.
He's sort of locked it in, and then, like you said, represses back to that child every time he is anxious about something or he's nervous about doing a speech or reading in public or anything
even the emotions are caused by that programming. So the programming comes first, then the emotional state comes.
And that must be so hard to unprogram, or I don't know what the word is. Is that a word? Unprogram?
It's not as hard as you think, but I do end up back in the eyes sometimes and then think, what are you doing here?
You got to catch it. That's it.
Yeah.
Got to catch it, be responsible for it, put it to the side, come back to the new way of thinking that you create. And
the good thing is, now I've addressed that, I address other things.
Yeah.
I realise in other situations that I'm back in the eyes again. And I can be back in the eyes when I'm 30 or 40. You know, I'm 50 next year.
Yeah.
But the eyes that I've gone back into are the 30-year-old who's looking in the eyes of the 12-year-old. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
You know where I'm coming from? Because I'm acting in that way when I was 30 because I was acting in that way.
Yeah.
So you put another layer.
So I need to stand away. I stand away from the 30-year-old and say, no, you don't need to do it like this. Don't worry about this.
Yeah.
But you do. You start to collect evidence to reinforce the original idea that I am this way. I really did kill my mother. I find more evidence. Yeah, I got to look
because you're trying to prove it. You're trying to prove that that's correct. That's the
reinforce our own mindset. Yeah,
you're justifying that why he killed his mum.
Yeah, look at all this bad stuff that happens to me. This must be because I'm a mother killer. This is just reinforcing it.
Do you think it's an excuse sometimes? People use it as an excuse?
Oh, definitely. People use excuses all the time. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I'm doing drugs because my mom killed herself, or I'm doing drugs because of this, of this.
Yeah, it started as fitting in. I just wanted to fit in and have fun. And then we did the drugs and it was like, well, that was a lot of fun. You know, like I'm going to do some more of them. And then it became, I wake up feeling terrible. Well, what's the solution to feeling terrible was doing more drugs.
Yeah.
And so it just became this cycle. The problem with it was the more I did it, the more ashamed and guilty I became and the more I wanted to do it. So I was just caught in this trap round and round, getting myself deeper into drugs and trouble and then feeling worse about myself, you know, not coming home for weekends and then feeling bad how my parents must be stressed. And so I do more drugs to escape that feeling and
so that must have taken a lot of guts for you to stand up to these people that you were friends with for 4 years,
16,
5 years?
16 still a young age to pull away from that. You did well to do that. Surely you should be complimenting yourself on that.
Thank you. I'll acknowledge myself.
I acknowledge you on that, Haydn. And I'll remember that one for a Monday as well.
I think I was lucky, really.
And you thank your stepmom for that.
Oh, so many times. Yeah, she saved my life.
And does she know that? Have you spoken to her about it?
Yeah, definitely.
So what happened to the people you were hanging around with? Did you just disengage from them? Did you just disengage from them in that moment when you was in the bath?
They did armed robbery not long after to a policeman's son.
Oh my God.
They were really down. It was methamphetamines was just becoming a big thing.
Right.
And highly available and very cheap. And so they were doing meth and heroin at that point and needed money, they didn't work. So they started armed robbery and robbed a policeman's son, and one ended up in jail. One actually, he's so much a shell of the human, like there's nothing there anymore. They couldn't even send him to prison.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just gone. You wouldn't even, he was a bright, fun, happy young man, and now he's just this shell. Yeah. Really sad. He's like, Mr. Burns when he gets drugged up on The Simpsons and he's glowing. He's like that. He's really like that now. Like, I don't know if he's still high.
Wow. Oh
What's your belief on marijuana and those lighter sort of drugs?
Yeah, drugs aren't the problem. No, mindset's the problem. Yeah. It wasn't. It was. I was using drugs as a solution to my problem. Yeah.
As a way of coping.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism. And we do this. This is with all the depression, anxiety, ADHD, bipolar. What I've seen and what I've worked with clients is when they learn to manage their mind and what actually causes their emotions and their actions, they don't need the drugs anymore. But drugs are a great short-term solution to provide relief, to give them a sense of, okay, maybe I can get on top of this.
Happiness.
But they have to do the work as well on themselves for long-term health, just like physical health. You don't train and you put junk in your mouth, you're going to get fat and unhealthy, and probably most people aren't going to like yourself. And it's the same with your mind. If you're not training your mind and you're putting junk in it, which is the news, social media, just allowing anything to come in, same thing's going to happen to your mind. It's going to be very unhealthy, and it's going to have a bigger effect on your life than your physical health. Yeah.
Wow. So how many people do you work with currently then, or is it sort of just a range of different people, or do you specifically want certain
Show us your portfolio.
I got about 25 to 30 clients at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah. That's weekly or every 2 weeks. We have a conversation.
And they range from backgrounds?
Ages?
Typically, I target entrepreneurs, business owners. They want to learn, they want to grow, they're willing to get uncomfortable. The jump, and most people understand this, like the jump from being a student to employee takes a shift. You've got to be on time, you've got to be responsible, you've got to be accountable for yourself. You start to earn money, you've got to learn to manage money. The jump from employee to self-employed or self-employed to business owner is similar. If you go from employee to self-employed, you got to learn sales, you got to learn marketing, time management, responsibility, accountability to a whole new level. The people who are willing to take that on often are looking for someone to guide them. Because that's an uncomfortable jump.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've had that, haven't we?
Yeah. And so they've got to be willing to get uncomfortable. If we're looking at their past and let's say, people who've had sexual assault and that's still getting in the way, like they really want a relationship, but they've had this trauma with men in the past, that's going to get in the way of their relationship. Now they got to be willing to revisit that moment and deal with it and feel the feelings to move through it, to get over it.
Because I've said to Tilly, because a few years ago, obviously she moved from year 6 up to year 7. So she was going from primary, it was like primary school, wasn't it, up into like sort of GCSEs and that sort of secondary school now. And I said to her, this is going to be a weird summer because you're basically the top dog at your school at the moment. Everyone looks up to you. Everyone, even the little children know who you are. You're with the year 6s. You are popular. You are, exactly.
Grown-ups.
And I said, and in 6 weeks' time, you are going to be
The
the minions
babies.
again. You are going to be the ones that everyone shits on, everyone looks at and picks on and laughs at. I said, and
Shits on.
yeah, basically. And I said, and in the space of 6 weeks, they have to go through this massive mind fuck, basically, of going, I'm the best, and now I've got to learn to do it all again.
And she was even house captain, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So she was the top dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had to say to her, you know, just take it all in, but just be prepared when you go to school. You don't know anyone, similar situation to you. She went in and she had no idea who anyone else was. And I said, it's going to be a complete and utter mindfuck for you because it's you going from top dog down to the little person again.
Starting again.
Yeah.
Her mindset, we don't know where she's got it from, Haydn, but her mindset is amazing.
Oh, good stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. We took her around 3 or 4 grammar schools, okay? And we said, you can choose anyone you want.
We didn't put our opinion across. We just let her do it. We just kept quiet.
She chose the grammar school she wanted. None of her friends from her previous school in it.
Wow.
And she's got good friends at that school.
And she just said,
she said it's better for my education.
What 11-year-old says that?
She'll come home.
Wow.
She'll come home from school and we don't have to nag her about her homework. Straight up there does her homework.
See, some people just...
She's straight A.
Great mindset. She's totally fit in and suited for society.
She's straight A student.
Brilliant.
Straight A student.
Good for her.
I just think the early mindset we gave her, it's going to sound a bit weird, but when she was little baby, from a baby to like 2, we used to have baths together, didn't we? And I used to get those spongy sort of writing things that you stick on the tiles.
Yeah,
and she was reading words, mate. She was reading words from 1.5. So like, it just clicked from her to the point where we was making her read swear words. And we were clapping. Well done. And she's really pleased. But I think, she got that buzz from us saying well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that buzz has never left her.
Yeah.
She's unbelievable. She really is unbelievable.
Stuff. Nice one. Well done.
Thanks.
We did something right, yeah.
But boys, they're a different mindset. Boys are boys. Do bare minimum to get through. What's going to get me through? That bit will get me through. You want to do a bit more? Nah, that's got me through.
Got it.
Yeah.
Who's that sound like?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not sure who that is.
It's not me, so Tilly must look after me then.
You know, Tilly's mum's a half-wit as well, so yeah, I'm just shocked by it.
Can you now say something positive about me, please? Oh my God, you do.
I like your hair. No, you're very clever. There you go. Yeah, you are. I'm not. And he's assessing this now. This is going to come up on Monday. He's going to say, Simon, I don't like the way you sort of.
Simon, the assessing never stops. Anywhere
He was
I
like,
am,
did you
it's
see
going
how he knocks you down? He wants to keep you at a certain level. That's wrong. I don't. I want you to be the best you can possibly be.
Oh, thanks.
I do. You know that. And I've told you that before, haven't I?
Yeah, you've
been stuck in jobs that I'm like, you're too good for this job, Rach. You're too good for this job.
Oh.
And now you're in a much better job. You're much happier, aren't you?
Yeah, I love my job.
Yeah, I have my moments. let's just stop bigging me up.
He does. Every time he sort of says something negative towards me, I'm like, I'm going to tell Haydn. And he's like, shut up.
I got it. We got a theme here, Dewey.
Haydn, I really do think you should have a session with Rach. Not like that. I think you should have I think you should. Not here, obviously live, but it's not live.
Live would be fun, though.
Oh, God, no.
I think we should get you in. If this podcast gets more popular, I think we should have. If this podcast gets more popular, we should have you in quarterly and have people send in questions for you. Would you like that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, okay. I'm down.
I like therapy.
We have to put corks. We have to have the hats with corks on. Where in Australia were you from?
Castle Hill, which is west-northwest of Sydney.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
So down from Brisbane.
Oh, way down. Yeah, way down from Brisbane.
Yeah, see, I'm just trying to. I just got the right side. I'm just happy I got the right side of Australia.
Yeah. We're like, oh, okay.
I don't know, 9 hours south driving.
So you used to cut trees down in Australia, right? I'm sorry, I'm jumping here. I'm going back to this.
Cool, go for it.
But I've got a thing about Australia. I love Australia, but I'm scared about if I was to live there, letting my kids go out in the garden.
Oh, you'll be sweet, mate. Don't worry.
I'm wondering if there ever a return.
I mean,
what have you found? You found stuff in trees.
As long as how old are your kids?
7 and
13.
Okay,
I've got 5. Don't ask me a question like that.
Don't go shoving your hand under things in the garden. Don't pick up if there's a big log. Looks like it's been there for a while. Do not roll it. So this is what you got to teach them. Don't put your hands under things. If you go into garages or outhouses, have a look. You know, if you lift a lid, just think there could be a spider under it. That's it. You just got to look and be cautious. If you go digging around in the garden, well, yeah, you're asking for trouble. Definitely. Now, a snake, you only got to worry if it's summer. They're going to see you. They're going to run away most of the time. But you're going to see them, okay? If you see one, you walk away. Simple. If you see a brown snake, though, don't go near it because it will come at you. They're territorial. Funnel webs. Big, hairy, scary spiders, huge fangs, venom dripping off. They rear their legs. They come at you. They run at you if you get like a meter or two near them.
How big are they? How big are they?
They are.
Well, he's doing this with his hands. So
but he's doing an impression with his hand. He can't shrink his hand, can he? You get to the right size.
I could comfortably hold one in my hand, and it would take up from mid finger to the bottom of my palm.
Yeah,
they can get. They're scary looking. Oh. Look them up if you're listening.
You know, cutting trees down is the worst thing for that.
Covered in spiders.
Oh,
covered in bugs. Covered.
Because there's.
You ever been bitten?
Yeah.
I had to go to hospital.
Yeah,
anti-venom.
Didn't go to hospital.
Anti-venom stuff or
no.
Right.
Actually, you've told me about a bite before that's gone wrong. I'm sure you have.
I was doing. I was a model. I was doing nude modelling for bachelorette parties.
Pictures, right?
No, they weren't. I don't know why they hired me, but no, I had no pictures. And I got
nude modelling for bachelorette parties. So you're a stripper?
No.
Oh.
No. I got the women to take my clothes off. Didn't do it myself. And there was no dancing. I just stood there while they drew me.
Oh, it's like life drawing.
Yeah.
I love life drawing.
Yeah. But it's for the ladies who don't want the sleaziness of a stripper.
Oh,
now, I'm not saying all strippers are sleazy, but, you know, they can kind of shake their junk in your face and not everyone wants that.
Yeah, I would be, yeah.
Yeah. I think it attracts that type of man. This was the...
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
We'll address that on Monday.
Bachelorette, you know?
Nice.
I did get a bite. I was sitting in the truck and I felt this sting in my crack, my butt crack. And I was like, oh, wow, that hurt. You know how you feel things sometimes you don't think it's anything?
That pulled muscle.
Yeah. I stayed sitting down and then I went again. And then it went a third time on my other side. It's like, oh, my God. So I got out of the truck, ripped my pants down and was dusting my butt off. Didn't find anything. Didn't know what it was. But I was working that weekend too. And then the next day I had these, it was like the opposite of a boil. So you know how a boil bulges out?
Yeah.
This like went into my flesh, like my flesh rotted away. And I had these, they were like the size of do you have pennies here?
Yeah.
What's the bigger 2-pound coin?
How long you lived here?
Yeah, a year. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It's all tap these days.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, I had on either side of my butt cheek, like just in the cheek. So like you could see it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got these two, it's not a welt, is it? It's the opposite. It's like goes in.
I know what you mean.
God.
Yeah, it was nasty and that fleshy.
What'd you do about it?
I put a couple of Mickey Mouse Band-Aids on it and went to work. And the women are like, why have you got Mickey Mouse Band-Aids in your butt cracks? Well, you don't want to see what they look like without them. Yeah.
And did it just sort itself out?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it healed. I mean, I don't look there very often.
Did you have spiders crawling out of it or anything like that?
Oh, like laying eggs.
I think it was ants, but I'm not sure. There's tons of things that bite you. I mean, I've been up a tree, like strapped to a trunk, you know, so you got a harness on and you put a rope around the tree as you're bringing the trunk down.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting through the trunk with a chainsaw, 2 hands, and just out of nowhere, a huntsman just runs across my face. Yeah, like mid cut.
Huntsmen aren't too bad though, are they?
They're just big.
Yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
big and hairy.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want one on your face.
No, but they don't bite or anything, do they?
They'll bite, but you have to
But they're not
annoy
venomous,
them,
aren't they?
piss them off. No, it'll hurt, but you won't die.
But they're big, aren't they?
Yeah, they're everywhere. They'd be if you won't go a month in Australia without seeing a huntsman.
See, I saw one when I was out there, and I was in the it was like a garage/gym, and I was on the treadmill, and I looked up and I was like, what the hell? And then I went,
They just
I'm
sit
just
there,
gonna
look
go
at
and lock
you.
the door.
Yeah, they do.
Huge. It was literally like the size of my hand, and I thought, right, if I run now, is it going to chase me? I'm on my own.
Yeah, my mate and I were in a back shed, similar, and it was one on the roof. And I'm like, don't worry about it, mate. Just get the gear. You know, it's not going to jump. And he goes in this. We both go in the shed, and it just jumped out. It's like, just running away.
I don't know. I'm all right with insects and stuff, but fuck that. No.
I see you sweating already. Like, no.
No. Just don't need that in my life. I'll stay here.
You get used to
I'll
it.
stay here. And then you had a spell in Canada as well, didn't you? You moved to Canada. This is with
did.
your wife.
We did, yeah, and dog.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
we'll talk about can we talk a little bit about your wife? We're going to invite her on. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
So
lovely.
she is, well, we can talk about that maybe later on. Let's
Okay.
just talk about how you met your wife, shall we?
Tinder. Yeah. Tinder. I called it the running man. That was my Tinder strategy. So I'd be on the toilet and I'd be bored. I'd download Tinder again because I usually delete it when I get frustrated with it. And I'd sit with the phone in my left hand. And you know, when you get your fingers like a running man, I'd just go, I wouldn't even look. I'd just go, yes, 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 yes,
did
yes, yes,
ya?
yes. Yeah, and I'd hope I'd get some likes back. And I got catfished a couple of times. But about the 7th time I downloaded it again, I was like, oh, wow, this girl's cute. And then she actually responded to my message. I was like, oh, well, here you go. Might be on here.
So where was she? You were in Australia at this point. When you were over here.
Yeah, she was in Australia too.
Oh, right. Okay.
About 10 minutes down the road.
Wow.
Yeah. And she, so yes. Friday night, why don't you come over and we'll have dinner? She said to me, it's like, great. Got round to her place. She had this huge 5-bedroom house, no neighbours, out,
Middle of
just
nowhere.
land. Yeah, $1 million property by herself. I'm like, oh, when are you getting home? So I'll just let yourself in. So I let myself in, started cooking dinner, made burritos, because burritos are the best.
There's letting yourself in, and then they're starting to cook.
Well, I've made burritos, which, you can't go wrong. Everyone gets to choose what they want,
So is that your anniversary dinner now? So is that what you
No,
judged
you
up?
just got to remind me what our anniversary is.
I got married on my birthday. So I
For that
why
reason.
ruin your birthday? Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I get presents on his birthday, so I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense. Yeah.
no, you've got a point there. But at least I don't forget it and get in trouble.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Although next year I am going to have to take a back seat as you are the big 5-0, aren't you?
Yeah, whatever.
I see, I don't see that, the point. Like, my wife used to get annoyed at me, but then I was like, well, do you want me to remember everything as well as you remember everything? What's the point of being together? I'll remember my shit, you remember your shit, together we're
Well,
stronger.
me in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Like,
your marriage is
Yeah.
just her shit.
what do you mean?
Well, I'm
Don't
dissecting
analyse
it.
it.
So let's go back to when you thought marriage was just shit, Haydn, shall we?
Oh, I mean, when I was working in the pub, all the men in the pub were like, don't ever get married.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would class the marriage as being her shit and remembering it as being her shit.
No, the date.
Yeah.
The date of the
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her responsibility.
Why is that? Why is
Because
that?
she cares about it.
And you don't.
I don't care about the date as much, no. No, I don't.
Well,
she's not listening.
No.
okay.
Why?
She won't care. She doesn't care anyway, does she?
Kirsty, no.
We met-
married to me. She knows what I'm like.
We met her at a Christmas do. Right, so this podcast's going out late January.
Yeah.
Right, so we met her at a Christmas do, and we love her, don't we, mate? She's a right laugh. She's a right laugh. So you done well there, mate.
Yeah.
Tinder works.
Done good.
Does work.
It does work. Yeah. We made the relationship work, though. Tinder just connected us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God, he dissected me just saying that. He's already corrected me.
Hey, words start wars, mate. Be careful.
Imagine doing that in this country, though, because obviously you were very, And she was very trusting of you. You were very trusting of each other to be able to just say, yes, go in, help yourself, cook.
She was a slut. I was a horny young man.
Doing that in this country. Imagine like just swiping and going, let yourself in.
Someone would say, look, let yourself in, the key's under the thing.
Yeah.
But I don't then, as a British guy, I won't enter and go, do you know what? There's a fridge there, I'm going to...
No, I brought the dinner.
Oh, right.
I cooked dinner, I ran her a bath. So when
she knew you was going to cook something, and did you?
I'd assume so, yeah.
So you didn't actually say those words. Do you know what? I'm going to start using your stuff.
Maybe I was going to cook her dinner. I'll come over and cook you dinner Friday night. Maybe.
It's not as bad then.
Yeah, let's go with that.
But if we let you into our house, would you just rock up and start looking at the food, knocking something up for us?
If I was hungry.
See what I mean? And that is how it should be. That is how it should be. But to us, that's
I can buy more food, if you get upset.
Yeah, I know. No, but it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
Would you go on
If
Tinder?
you've got guests and you say, look, the fridge is yours, that's fine. That's fine. But just to rock up.
Would you go on Tinder, find a girl, and then go?
I don't need to, babe.
No, let's say
I've got the hottest girl in the world anyway.
But thank you, because I'm scared that you might
I wasn't referring to you.
Yeah.
I was referring to my bit on the side.
But imagine like doing that and then just saying to her, "Oh, I'm working. Let yourself in. She's cooked you dinner." But
nice.
I would start having palpitations. Like, right, okay, this is like a first date, and you're here cooking me dinner, making me a bath, and running me a bath. I'd just be like, "Oh,
first date."
That was about the end of the romance in our relationship too.
Oh. That was it.
It's done.
Don't get used to this.
So we go briefly about her. She is a gymnast instructor. Is that right? Is it gymnastics?
Gymnastics coach. Her speciality is the double mini trampoline. This little double trampoline that they bounce twice on or 3 times. They run at it.
Boing.
Yeah. That's her speciality. She coached.
I don't. Can you describe that a bit more? Because I don't know much about a double mini trampoline.
Yeah.
It's basically like the ones that are not flat. They're like that.
Yeah.
And you bounce there, and then
do a
dive
massive
or roll or tumble or
bunch of flips and twists and then land on the ground. Yeah.
And that's
Google it.
Right. Okay. Double mini. Okay.
Yeah,
I know someone with a double mini.
One of the best in the world. Not even joking. Voted 3rd best by her community last year.
Wow.
Produced number 2 in the world in his first year as a senior male athlete. And he actually got the highest scores overall. So he came number 1 if you looked at all the competitions he went to. He got highest scores overall.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where does she instruct?
She doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, she just coaches.
No, we had our second baby just over a month ago, and she's decided she's going to be a full-time mum.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have a few more kids.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you want 5, didn't you?
I want 5, at least 5.
She wasn't too happy about that when we spoke to her.
No, but, I'm pretty persistent and persuasive at times, so we'll get there. Yeah.
I'm stressed out already just thinking about it.
Oh, bless her. Oh, dear.
Oh,
more love.
We'll definitely have to get her on as well.
Yeah, we'll get her on because she's a laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a character. Takes one to marry one, that's for sure. Behind every strong man is a stronger woman.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Or an insane one.
Oh, proper insane. Yeah, for a long time I fully thought she was a psycho. That was my mindset.
Really?
When we first started dating, this is like 3 months in that house where I originally met her. And I don't remember what I did, but I know I get on people's nerves at times. I'm pretty good at it. And she's coming at me, she's like heads down, and she's a gymnast. So her shoulders are literally broader than mine. She's powerful. She's coming at me like a demon with her eyes on me, focused and locked. She picks a picture frame off the wall and pegs it at me. And I just, in that moment, I was like, she's a psycho. She's a proper psycho. I like a challenge. I wouldn't be the coach I am if I didn't marry her. She's been the most difficult person for me to deal with. Yeah, who I needed to become to stay with her is spilled right into my coaching practice. If I can handle her, I can handle anybody,
Now, do you still get coaching?
Yes, got coached last week.
Really?
So who coaches
Was it
you
me?
then?
Well, yeah, I do let clients coach me for sure. They hold me accountable.
I've had a little bit of to and fro with you.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Yeah,
definitely.
so I do try to advise him, but whether it's the right advice,
I learn a lot from my clients, 100%. I'd say my number 1 client, Kip Clare, it's very much a synergistic relationship. He's consistently pushing and developing himself at just a phenomenal rate. Like 3 months, maybe 3 months ago this year, he decided he wanted the second floor of the tallest building in the city, $10,000 a month Canadian to rent it out. And he's been working out of his home. So he doesn't have 10 grand cash flow to invest out of nowhere. So we came up with an idea that he would divvy up the space into 20 different office spaces and then rent them out to different business owners in the town.
Oh,
He's got city council in there. He's got mortgage company. He's got like 20 different, and now he's making a profit off that office. He's got 4 offices for himself and his team, because he's growing his team this year. And now he's making $500 a month off this space, and he's seen as the guy who pulled it all together.
Wow.
Yeah, just a phenomenal young businessman, younger than me.
So it's just having that idea and having the guts to roll with it, really, I
the
suppose.
guts is in if you imagine you have your dream or your goal, and then there's where you are, who you are, what you're doing currently. There's the gap between who you're being, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and who you need to be, what you need to think, what you need to do to be the person who has those dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
Kip, what's phenomenal about Kip is, there's a very real distance and learnings and breakthroughs and breakdowns you need to go through to get to that point. Old ways of thinking and being removed, old identity, new ones created. He manages to make that gap as short as possible.
Wow.
So he causes the breakdown at an intense pace. Like his breakdowns are intense. So he'll be like, internally just in turmoil, dealing with his old identity, creating the new one, but in such a short period of time that he causes rapid breakthroughs in his own life.
Wow.
Yeah, just a top performer.
Does he have children?
Not yet. He's getting married this year. He found the love of his life this year. He's getting married next year, and they're planning on having kids.
So you're going to tell me I'm using this as an excuse because I just know the sort of person you are.
Okay.
But
a good coach.
I had kids at a young age, and I feel that has stopped me taking
It's a mindset, yeah.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Get out of it.
It is an excuse. Yeah, you're spot on. What do you need me for?
You know the answers already. It's in there. You just know it. You just don't even have to voice them.
So what's been the impact of that way of thinking?
Progression. I imagine progression.
You said you think your kids have held you back?
I'm not blaming my kids for holding me back, but my goal is to provide for my kids.
Yeah.
And you can't take risks. We can take risks. God, I've said the word can't to him. If you ever have counselling, sorry. If you ever had mindset coaching with him, sorry, I say counselling.
Can't say can't or should.
And don't say
never,
can't.
Or always.
Don't say but.
But because.
I'm going to start writing them down.
Yeah, that's what you should do. You should have a list, like a
Rachel,
mantra.
don't you start. You're going to get on there soon, and you'll know how hard it is as well.
I thought you said that the kids slowed you down. I thought there was
no. It's a case of wanting to provide.
Yeah,
and if you take risks, you could fall, and then you have nothing to put a roof over your head.
Yeah,
when you haven't got children, the only person that's going to struggle is you, and you can get over that by being in a bed sit or something like that, or going back to your parents.
Yeah, to be successful with a family takes a different level of being, a different level of thinking. You can do it. It will take planning, organization, risk management. Yeah. And you've got to be, you can't be as blasé about it or spontaneous. You have to do the work. Yeah. Like there's less freedom in a way.
There's less suck it and see.
Yeah. So
that's, you've got to know that what you're going to do has got a high percentage of success.
Yeah. You got to be clever about, oh, no, not clever. Yeah, there is a different being to be successful.
Yeah, you've got to be a planner.
With it, if you and it's simple. It's not like only just kids. It's in any different environment, who you're being is going to cause different results. And so you walk into an environment and think, okay, who do I need to be here to be successful, and what is successful? And then you can create that and be that, and then you can have everything you want. if you walk in and just react and think, oh, I can't do it here. Well, yeah, you've given up before you start. You'll never have it. Definitely. If you walk in and go, who do I need to be to have everything I want? And you create that and then you be it and you do the actions you see to take and give up all the fear and doubt and concerns, throw them out. Yeah, you can have everything you want no matter the environment. Yeah.
Because I had, what did I have? I didn't have counselling. I had like almost hypnotherapy type stuff.
Yeah, was you there when
Colleen?
I've got her name. Colleen.
Nah, she was just before me.
Oh,
yeah.
right, okay. So Colleen's very similar, but in a hypnotist sort of way.
Yeah. But again,
she got you to go to the kids' eyes, look through your eyes.
Yeah.
And give my child self a cuddle and stuff. But again, you went to her. I'm being really horrible now, sorry. You went to her with a negative mindset already because you went, this stuff doesn't work on me. And already it's put that mindset in.
You had a block.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it and it was relaxing and...
It didn't work the way it worked on me, did it?
No, I don't know if I had a defence up. I love Colleen.
Yeah.
I love Colleen.
You were open to it. You were looking for something, whereas you were closed to it. You were shutting it out.
I think it's that, I've known people to go to like a Paul McKenna show and be hypnotised.
Yeah.
And they swear that they were hypnotised. You've had your hands closed together before. And you've been on stage at Paul McKenna, haven't you?
Darren Brown.
Darren Brown.
You got to be willing for it to work. Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, well, do it then. It's the same we're going back to religion again. But, I've been in environments, in Christian environments before when I'm like, I haven't heard him. He's not said a thing to me.
Well, that's the same thing. You've got to be willing for it.
Exactly.
If you let your resistance rule the day, no different.
It's not as if I'm resisting. I'm just going, come on and do it.
But you are though.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I'm like, I'm open.
You're waiting for them to do the work.
Do it. Yeah.
But you still got something in your head that is doubting it for you to go, come on then, prove that I'm wrong then. And that's the thing that you need to get out of.
Same with coaching. You need to be a willing participant for it to be effective. If you sat there and resisted me, it won't work. It would just be painful for both of us.
There's a curveball question here. Do you believe in paranormal?
Like ghosts?
Do I believe in paranormal?
Yeah, or ghosts, things like that.
Spirits?
No, I don't believe. I also don't have all the answers or claim to know everything. So I neither believe or claim it's not real.
See, now with me, it has to literally happen in front of me. With me dissecting it and what am I trying to say? Like if a telly comes on or a telly goes off, someone goes, "Oh, look, that was weird, wasn't it?" It's like, no, it's just a power surge. Do you know what I mean? Just a power surge.
If me and the kids ever have anything spooky happen, or like there was one example where we had the TV in the front room, and handprints, you get 5 prints, and on an LED screen, you can see if someone pushes onto it, you can see the marks. And I was in the front room and I looked up, and there were these 5 fingerprints pushed onto the TV that disappeared. And I went, well, that was weird. Told him, and he went, oh, it's this. And he's always got almost like an explanation of what it could potentially be.
Most of the time it is. Most of the time it is.
That's normal. What people do is when things happen, they try to fit it into their current perspective.
Exactly, yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because people, we naturally want to know how things work as humans. That's how our brain works. So without even trying, our mind is trying to figure out what's happening. What does this mean? This means that. That's what our brain does. And Simon's trying to fit it into his view of the world and how the world works. You're trying to fit it into yours. That's all that is. Neither of you are wrong or right.
So I'm a little bit more. I'm a little bit more right than you.
Well, I'm going to go back to obviously what you do now. After your little curveball question.
Yeah, but it was a good question.
It was a good question, yes. So do you ever take stuff home with you? Like if you're seeing someone and you're coaching someone, do you ever sort of have to sort of have half hour away to just sort of
so I'm sitting
it and just
all
sort of
the
get
time.
rid of it?
Oh, yeah, every day. Every single day. Yeah, before every call is clearing out my own mind. And then during the call, I'm dealing with my own humanness, my own reactions, my own
shit
inner
in
chatter.
life.
Yeah. My own, they say, I'm having this problem with my employee. And instantly what's there for me in that moment is my judgment, my opinion, my righteousness. They should do it this way. And it's me removing all of that so I can be like,
because you immediately want to advise.
That's what's right there.
But like you said about the paranormal, it's based on your experiences and the way you're seeing things.
Yeah.
And you've got to remove that.
Yeah, remove that. And don't get me wrong, it's a dance. So there's times where telling them exactly what I think is what works, and there's times where it doesn't work. And there's times where listening and really having them understand themselves through my listening, through just repeating back to them what they said so they can hear it from another source. And then they go, oh, wow, that sounds really bad. I don't want to do that anymore. So there's like a balance between being the director who just tells people straight how it is, what to think. And then it's between that and being a listener, and in between those two is the guide. And that's the goal, is to guide them to what they're aiming to achieve, who they're aiming to be. But yeah, I deal with that humanness all the time. Yeah, nonstop. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed having you over.
Are we done, are we?
I think so, unless you've got anything else.
Unless you want to
we can talk all day.
Any way people can get hold of you?
Yeah, Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Just Google Haydn Griffiths Mindset and Performance Coaching.
Or Tinder. You still on there?
I'm not. I would hate to see my profile too. Don't Tinder me.
Sorry, I talked over you talking about your website, so go on your website again.
I don't have a website.
Well,
No social media.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have any social media at all?
No social media.
So it's just word of mouth then?
Networking is my marketing strategy. Yeah.
Okay, so your email address is?
Haydn, Haydn, M for Michael, G for Griffiths, @gmail.com. So HaydnMG@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Can you email me? Or Google Maps me. You can call me.
Yes.
Get my phone number.
And remember, everyone,
Oh, God.
you can be whatever you want to be, can't you?
You can.
Anything. You can be anything you want to be, but you might need the guidance from this man here, Haydn Griffiths.
Thank you.
The Australian naked drawing type.
Arborist.
Past drug addict.
Pub manager, arborist, car salesman.
Do you class yourself as a drug addict, still an addict or not?
All humans are addicts.
Okay.
Everyone's addicted to just different habits.
Yeah.
We claim some are bad, some are wrong.
Well, I'm glad you got out of it and you only had 2 years of it, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I drank until I was 22.
Okay. Maybe.
About 10 years.
It's not
10 years of heavy.
It's not the note I wanted to end it off.
heavy alcohol.
I really enjoy our sessions we have, and they do make a difference,
Thanks, mate.
even though I'm that fucked up. All right.
No.
See, I said something negative about myself.
see?
He's going to bring it up. Oh, damn.
But I do say that to you all the time, don't I?
What?
I say,
fucked up?
well, yeah.
You say both. You say both. You positive and you're also negative, and that may have been brought up on Monday. But then he told me it was my fault. So
No, I did not use those. I never said it's your fault.
no, he didn't say it was my fault.
Oh, when we had an argument.
We didn't have an argument. No, we didn't have an argument. We'll talk about it off camera.
When I dove out and I called you up because I needed your help.
No. Oh, yeah, we had an argument the other day. Yeah, we had an argument.
Oh, no.
What was it over? Oh, yeah, she's got on to the kids too. It's the loudness that Haydn, maybe you can sort her out. It's just too loud with the discipline. Too loud. Drove me nuts.
Got it.
Drove me nuts.
Yep.
And she went off. She drove off. And I just started watching telly. Sod it. And then what happened? I got a call.
An hour and a half later.
Hour and a half. Where did you go?
I just went and sat, watched TV, watched The Crown,
In the
watched
car.
a bit of
In the
everything
car.
in the
Like
car.
at the front?
In the car.
Drove down to like about 10 minutes away. Just go and sat down
okay,
in the
yeah.
street, and I thought I
Got
need to
it.
get out, so I went out. And
Yeah,
I
okay.
sat.
And
watched-
she just went to her own space. Probably some geezer's house, but that's what she's telling me. Fair enough. And she ran the battery out in the car.
Don't you hate that? That's the worst.
When a hero comes along.
And then you had to call him. No.
Oh.
so annoyed.
I was like,
I was just like,
Really? Look who comes crawling
But
back.
did he rub it in? Did the hero rub it in at all?
you're doing it
did he
now.
just turn? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, forgot about that.
Doesn't it suck?
Oh,
I hated
he came
it.
along.
I would literally was
Sort
on the
it out.
phone. I was like, The car won't work.
He was like, the car won't work, so I need your help.
That sound like
I was like,
R2D2.
okay.
Oh, man.
It's the C3PO.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
R2D2 is bleeps. Yeah, C3PO.
I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Anyway, sorry. That was we've done a nice little goodbye and then we talked bollocks again for a bit.
Well, we haven't even got into relationships. We'll have to do that next year.
Yeah, let's have him back.
Oh, God.
We've got to have him back. We should do some sort of are you happy to do a little bit of counselling, a little bit of coaching? Sorry, I do.
Yeah, who are we coaching?
Us two.
Oh,
together.
Yeah, that'd be
do
great.
a joint coaching session.
Yes, I'd love that. That'd be so much fun.
We'll do it.
I'm sweating
We'll
already.
do it. And if you've got any questions for Hayden when we have him back, then let us know. Just put Haydn
send it
Griffiths
through.
in front. Haydn Griffiths to info@cherrypro.co.uk.
Yeah, anything you're dealing with, anything that's not working in your life, we
Yeah.
can have a look.
And if you have trouble getting hold of Hayden, go through us and we'll put you onto him. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Boosh.
Great to be here. Boom.
Thank you.